Hello and welcome to another edition of Andy's Shed Live. This is Series 12, episode number 11 for Sunday the 19th of March 2023. Hello there everybody, I hope you are well. How are you today? It's all new technology here today. You can see I'm turning into a cyborg with this headset on and stuff. So yeah, there's all sorts of things that are different today, and the reason there are things that are different is because we've got a lot happening. I need to now firstly see if I can go and find the stream. That would be a very good start. Right, where are we? So I can find the chat mainly. Right, there we are. Right, I can mute myself on there, and then hopefully I've got that, so I can go there and I can go pop out chat, and then that one I can get rid of. There, I can turn that to live chat, and I can see who we've got. We've got Dominic and we've got Wesley so far. Dominic says, I visited the Cromford and High Peak trackbed along with the Leek and Manifold trackbed this weekend. Excellent, Dominic. You've been out and about, have you? Cool. That is very good. Right, you may have noticed that at the moment the chat is missing. We can put the chat on if I can just press the right button. No, wrong one, Andy. There we go. There, the chat's there. So we are beginning to win now, I think. Right, let's have a little look. Oh, Miguet's here as well. Hi, Miguet. Right, we are getting there. We haven't got any of the CNET people on here tonight. Wesley's here as well. Hello, Wesley. It says, does the Cromford line go towards Whaley Bridge, Dominic? Yeah, that's a good question. I've got no idea where that goes. Got absolutely no idea at all where that goes. So, yeah, answers on the proverbial postcard, please, as to where that ends up. How's the sound coming out today? Because I'm actually using this microphone on this headset tonight, and I don't know if it's better or worse. Somebody will have to tell me how they're finding it. Is it any better? Is it any worse? Is it exactly the same? That's the other option that it could be. Yeah, don't tell me what you think. Right, it seems to be going a bit slow tonight. I wonder if we've kind of overloaded it a bit. Wesley says, sound is fine, Andy. Is it any better than it normally is, Wesley? Because as normally you can hear a sort of computer hum in the background. Can you still hear that, or has it gone? Has this cheapo headset improved it at all? Right. Anyway, today, the thing is, I'm wired in now, so I can't move about so much. Today, I've got to take it off a minute because I've got to get a box. I'm going to get a box because we've got an unboxing to do. Just bear with me for one moment. can now put it on again because I've got a box here. Crikey, that was loud. Right, just moving things. They can go up there a minute, that can go on there a minute, and the box, because I've got a wire now, you see, that connects me to everything. Tell you, it's getting more like Swapped Up every day, this. So I have got a box which is here. So here's my box. If we do a bit of a transitiony thing, there is the box. Right, I'll throw the rubbish on the floor, I think, today. Right, how is the box sealed? I think somebody has got a share in a parcel tape factory, because there's rather a lot of it on this. Live unboxing. And here today, right. There. Right. Let's have a look. Can you tell what it is yet? Ooh, that's exciting, isn't it? That's not the shape of a handset that many of you will be overly familiar with. Right. It's now to find a bigger desk, isn't it? A bigger desk will definitely help. Yeah. Or even one that just wasn't covered in junk. Has it survived the Every Courier is the question. Shall we see? Yes, it has. And it's absolutely hanging filthy. It's another one of those that's absolutely filthy. Right. Can you tell what it is yet? Yes, it's an American wall phone. There we go. And it's a very early American wall phone, and the way we tell it's an early one is because you look at the finger wheel, and if it's metal, it's an early one, and this one most certainly is metal, and strangely it runs really well actually, which I wasn't expecting it to do. Right, let's see if we can find some dates on it. So a good way to find dates on American phones is to take the handset apart, and there's often a little orange painted number on things. Having said that, on this one there isn't anything, but there is a black painted number which appears to say 69 on the back of there. Don't know if you can see that or not, at the bottom of there, 69. Can you see that? So my thought is that is probably from 1969. Now this phone definitely predates 1969. They would have had, I think, plastic finger wheels by then, so I'm guessing that has been replaced. Maybe the whole handset's been replaced. Take this one out at this end, and that one's definitely been replaced because that's got the little red orange number on, but it's 582 on that one. I don't know if you can make that out or not on the camera. 582. So that has been replaced, and it's not connected because this is looking like it's not an American cord, perhaps. Because if it was an American cord, it should be able to fit the spade connectors in there. So that ain't going to work, is it? 'Cause it ain't connected up. So it's a good job we looked. Now, have I cross-threaded that? These are a bit awkward sometimes. Yeah, I think I have. Possibly. Right. Shall we take the case off? See what lurks. Now. In theory, the cases don't come off that easily, but it has done. Oh, and it's all chopped inside. Look. And this is what I feared. It's been major league messed with. What on earth is that? Answers on the proverbial postcard, please. But I think that is like a relay they have in payphones. So what the hell has happened here? No bells. Bells totally missing. Out of it. Have you ever been had? Yeah, so this is not turning out to be the greatest buy, because this actually cost me 30 quid. 3 times as much as I normally pay for a phone. And it's actually not a great buy. Look at the state of it. And I'm even going to go as far as to say I don't think this cord is necessarily an American one. It's certainly not connected, this curly cord. It's just been tied on there, look. It's literally been tied on. So that is not actually attached to the rest of the phone. So that there, not attached to anything. That. But we have got a network in it, which is good. So it ought to be savable. So it's got a network, but it's not got much of anything else. 259 it says on the side of the network. 259 down there somewhere. So that is probably when it was actually made. It probably was made in 1959. But jeez, what a mess. But what is that for? That. So to put this right, what I may have to do is try and find an Irish one of these as a donor phone. I have got an Irish one actually, but if I can find one in bits as a donor phone to put this back together, because there is rather a lot of it missing that I wasn't expecting to be missing. So yes, not the greatest that we've ever had. Right, what are people up to in the chat? Pooper Scooper's here. Hello, Pooper. Well, it says Christopher hasn't been on for a few weeks, has he not? No, and he's not here today, Wesley. I have had a message from him, though. Apparently he's gone to bed because he was out riding on trains or something. So he'll be catching up later. I actually wanted him here today because we can actually do the phoning thing today if we've got anybody on who is on CNET. But I don't think we have at the minute. I don't think we have got any CNET people on at the minute. Yeah, it says very nice. What's the indicators for? Indicators? What indicators? Pooper Scoop says, I hear your frustration, Andy. Lack of space is the bane of my life. Yes, mine too. Where's the ringer, says Miguel. Damn good question. No idea at all. It should be here, but it's not. So I've got no idea what's happened to that. It seems to be missing. Penfold says, is that a plug or a relay on the end of the phone? I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking it's a plug. But it's not a plug I recognise. Miguel says, was it through eBay? Yes, it was. It was. No, pretty much everything is through is through eBay. I'm looking at this now. I'm thinking it's a plug. Actually, it's got a sort of domed head on that side, and then what seems to be the tail end of a machine screw on that side. So I'm wondering if that's one of these fancy machine screws that they put in and then round the head over so you can't get it out again. Of course, I would have thought once you took that out, that would all come apart. I would have thought. I don't know, but it's not an original part, that. It's definitely not an original part. I have got a couple more of these phones, one of which is on the wall at the side of me here. So it may be a case of taking the case off another one just to see what's missing out of this. But there's obviously bells missing. Do they have a separate capacitor, these, or is it all built into what the Americans call the network? I can't remember. But yes, there's a lot of stuff missing, as you can see. A lot of stuff missing. I wonder if somebody's had this apart relatively recently. I don't know. Strangely, the dial works quite nicely. Shame about the rest of it, really, isn't it? But yeah, not great, not brilliant. It's not, but we shall see. Right. Penfold says, is that plug an American telephone wall plug? I don't know, Penfold. It's certainly not a modular plug, not what they call modular, because they're little plastic things. And pre-modular, I thought American phones were hardwired in, a bit like ours are. So I'm not entirely sure what this is. But I'm thinking this is something to do with a payphone, because the British payphone here has got something that looks a little like that, or should have something that looks a little like that. If I can get a hold of it. Right. Right. You probably can't see this very well, but in here, which we don't need to turn it, in here is a little thing that's not connected to anything, but is sort of clipped in with a couple of spring clips, and I can't get it out, and there it is. Right, can you see that? Right, now that says 770BAF on it, and I've got no idea what that is. Right, because there's that clipped in there, and there's also what looks like a little capacitor clipped in there as well. None of which are connected to anything, because we've gone through this before and realised that there were bits missing off this payphone, didn't we? Right. But here's the thing. Right. This that I've just taken off that payphone, that British renter's payphone, and this look awfully as if they ought to go together. And indeed they do, and the finish on them is the same, and everything. So what is that about? I have no clue what that is. But this one has got a screw you can take out. So I wonder if we take those screws out of there, if we will find out what this is. So we'll put the American phone to one side for a minute. Says he's putting it on the floor with everything else. And then we'll have a look at this. Okay, right. So can I undo this screw and this screw? This is where I ought to look at the chat and see if anybody's yelling anything at me in the chat. Bear with me 1 second. Right. It says, I'm not yet on CNET, but have ordered Lindsys and hope to get connected with your help, Andy. Please. Cap is in the network and fitted that LED. It says that plug has nothing to do with the phone. No, it doesn't, does it? Right, I've taken those two screws out now, hoping I can now get this device apart. It's coming. Let's see what it is. My guess is it's a relay, but let's have a look. Perhaps this is something that might be useful. To the payphone. Right. Okay. What the hell is that? Right, Christopher Charles is here. It says that plug in the payphone case, this thing that I've just taken apart, is used to link the line through when the mechanism is removed. You are then able to use the phone associated with the payphone. Right. So that's why that this is actually then just a thing with links on it. And interestingly, if I can get this in the right light, you see it says USA on it. It's upside down, but there you go. Right, I get it in the right light. Right. Can you see EAU USA? Yeah? So remember, I've just taken this out of a British rent-a-set payphone, and as Christopher says, it's just two links, yeah. So Christopher is totally spot on. It looks like from what I can see, but the question is, how come that half is in a British payphone, just sat in there out of use, which it would be if it was just a link to make the phone work as an ordinary phone, not as a payphone. It says USA on it, but it's in a British payphone. And then I find an American phone that's not a payphone, that's got t'other half on. Now, I think somebody's fitted this. Somebody in this country has fitted this and wired it on here. But it seems they've wired this, because is this not how you normally plug a payphone in? So somebody's fitted this. Between L1 and L2. So that's a British bit. Although it's made in America, it's not meant to be on an American phone. It's meant to be on a British phone, even though the part is obviously the other half of this, and we know it's made in America because it says USA on this bit. Right? Does that make sense? So that does not jive with this phone, does it? Even though I can fit that together, yeah, well, that does not, because all that is links across. So it links one terminal there to that terminal there, that terminal there to that terminal there. How many wires are there going into the back of it? 3 at this end, but only 2 at the other end. So where does the third one go? The yellow one? It's vanished. Ooh. Yeah, there's something not quite right going on here, isn't there? Right, I'm going to put this thing back together out of the payphones. That, I think we've established, is actually a thing that should be sat out of use in its little clip inside a British payphone, British rent-a-set. So we will put that back together. So perhaps I can use this somewhere in that payphone that I've got. Perhaps this is one, could be one of my missing parts inside that payphone. This, it doesn't seem to screw apart. I don't think, anyway. is weird, isn't it? Let's take those screws right out. Okay, they'll drop out. Now, does it pull apart? No. Because you've got to get that out, and I think these should be little screws. I think that one's broken off on that side, and that one's been rounded over on that side, so you can't get the thing apart. But I think it should come apart, but it should have screws like that half's got. But they've been messed with. So they're definitely a thing of the same. I mean, they've got a kind of crinkly finish to the paint on them, and it's the same finish on both halves. So yeah, they're definitely both the same thing, sort of thing. So yeah, we'll put it back together anyway, so I don't lose the bits. But what an oddball find. That was not what I was expecting at all with this. Just goes to show, every time you unwrap a parcel, it's a school day. Right. Right. What do we think then? What do we think to all this? Penfold says, was the payphone and the USA War phone from the same eBay seller? No, Penfold. The payphone, the British Renters set, wasn't from eBay. It came from Andrew in Wales. So I went to see the other week, who got that amazing collection of phones that we showed you that video of. That's where the Renters set came from. This has come from an eBay seller, the American phone, so yeah. That's just linking something out, surely, says Wesley. Yeah. Well, that's just linking something out, certainly, but that's what Christopher says it does. So that seems right. Wesley says payphones would have been hardwired. Yeah, on the outside, but I think this goes on the inside to bypass the pay mechanism, so you can use it as an ordinary phone, if I've understood what Christopher said correctly. Yeah, it says the case holds that LED indicator. What LED indicator? This LED indicator in this case. Is that what we're talking about? this LED. You see, this is not a right thing either, is it? They don't generally have an LED there. That is something that somebody's botched in there. I mean, it's even loose. I'm pretty sure that LED shouldn't really be in there. I mean, in 1959 they didn't have LEDs, did they? Or did they? No, I don't think they even had red LEDs in 1959, did they? I think LEDs were a thing of the future in 1959. And it definitely looks like an LED because it's got a resistor on it. Quite an old resistor by the looks of it, but a resistor nonetheless. And a bit of blue wire that doesn't tally to anything in the rest of the phone. So... dear me, I'm going to stick all this back together, but I'm taking it out of the phone because I'm sure it's not supposed to be in the phone, this. I'm pretty sure that is a retrofitted something or other. Quite a nice LED though, is that? And that little mounting like that. It's quite a nice thing, isn't it? Quite. I wonder if it is an LED or if it's a tiny bulb. Perhaps, but it wouldn't have a resistor probably if it was a tiny bulb, would it? I don't know. Let's have a look at the case hole. The hole, that hole there, doesn't look original to me. Somebody's just drilled that, haven't they? It's kind of where your bell should be. When you put the thing together, it's kind of where your bell should be. I've got no idea what's going on there. I've got absolutely no idea at all. It's all very, very strange. Can't work it out at all. That answers on the proverbial postcard, please. Penfold says 1959 they would have used neon lights. Yeah, that's not a neon. I'm sure it's too small. Again, it says that wall phone is worth getting going. Parts from the Irish wall phone should get it working, as similar to the US version. Yeah. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Don't really want to take the Irish one I've got apart though, so because it is in quite good condition, so I might have to look for another one in bits. But so weird. I mean, I think there's even a clip missing that down it. Oh, maybe not. I think I'm going to take this off because it's getting in the way and it's just not right, is it? Right, taking that off. Gambo's here, says, hello peeps, I've made it. Late, but had a shift swap. Nice to see you, Gambo. And it says, what make is the phone? That's a good question. I'm guessing it's going to be Western Electric. But my eyesight. Yeah, Western Electric, I think. I'll let you have a look for yourself. If I can get it under this camera. Now, does that say Bell system? Made by Western Electric. I think that's what it says, isn't it? Yep, I'm happy with that. That's Western Electric. So, yeah. Proper American one. But why is everything being cut inside it? Can't understand why people do this. Why people just indiscriminately cut wires inside phones. And I just don't get why they bother to do it. So they are the clippy things that are supposed to clip on there. So it's supposed to fit over that there. Then the bottom is supposed to clip on like that. So it's fitted together as it should. It is absolutely filthy grotty though, this. I might have to try and do a bit of cleaning up on it. Penfold says, hi Gabbo, I'm late too. Just finished shift here on the ship in Las Palmas. You're in Las Palmas, Penfold. Crikey. You get about a bit, don't you? Yeah. Right. I think we're going to do a bit of cleaning with the what's happening there? Bit of cleaning with the trusty Brasso. See if we can bring it up a bit. Because I'm getting absolutely filthy just touching it. While I am doing this, this will be a good time to say that if you are on CNET, then it should be possible, if you're on CNET, it should be possible for you to actually phone in the show here tonight. Now, I don't think we've actually got anybody here who's on CNET at the moment, but if you are, the number to call is this, 0246 87 201 if you're on CNET. 0246 87 201, and you can actually call me here if you ring that number, but I don't think you can, because I think all our CNET people aren't here tonight, but it's there if anybody wants to ring it. There are ways into CNET from the PSTN as well, from the normal. But basically what you have to do is you have to ring a normal phone number to call somebody, and then what happens is it sort of transfers you onto a CNET line. go. That's looking better already. I mean, not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it is looking better. Ooh. Not as much muck come off that actually as I thought there might have been. I think they've changed Brasso. I don't think it's as abrasive as it used to be. Don't think it works in the same way. It used to be an abrasive. I don't think it is anymore. I think it's something more chemical in how it works. It's a really manked up case, it really is. It's going to take a lot of work to get this anything like. A lot of work. What is going on in the chat while I'm doing this? Yes, there's plenty of diagrams can be found, so no problem. Yeah, I'm hoping the right diagrams can be found though. The trouble with diagrams and things is you can never be entirely sure if they're right. Because the one of these I've got on the wall here, I've got a yellow one on the wall. And years ago, I stupidly converted it using one of the British Telephone's instructions, you know, that website. And I used their instructions to convert it and put a 3.3 kilo ohm resistor in it because that's what it said to do. And now it doesn't hardly ring, it's not got enough power to ring, and that's of course I've since found out because American phones are 1 Ren anyway, so you don't need the resistor in an American phone. So that website, Bob Freshwater's website for these American phones, was wrong. It had got a bit of duff information on it, but I've never actually got round to emailing him and telling him it's probably wrong, that. I ought to do it really. I have got a 500 desk phone with this early metal finger wheel on it, so that would go quite well with this. So yes, very cool phone. We like it. When we get it going, it will be very nice. in fairness, there's a possibility that the person who sold this to me on eBay, of course, didn't know there was anything wrong with it. I mean, could be an antiques dealer who bought it at an auction. It could be anything. Oh, we've got a phone call. Apparently, Michael T is ringing us. Let's see now. Let's see if this works. If this works, it'll be a miracle. Oh, do it again, Michael. I pressed the wrong button. Let's see if we do it again, Michael. I pressed the wrong button, mate. That's what you get when you're trying to do 3 things at once. Let's see if we can raise him. Right, he's trying again. I'll press the right button this time. Hello, Michael.
Hello. Hello from Bristol.
I can actually hear you. Now
yeah.
the question is, can everybody else hear you?
Coming through loud and clear.
Can anybody hear him? Can somebody say in the chat if they can hear Michael or not?
I'm still just using VoIP at the moment, but I have seen it in the past to the rotary telephone through the ATA.
Yeah. Well, this call that you're now doing, this is going through Zoiper as well. Miguel says yes, he can hear you.
Okay. Cool.
Congratulations on being the first person to call in that people can actually hear. Because Christopher's done it before, but of course nobody could hear him. You've managed it.
Sorry.
Go on, fire away.
I've got an 8. Hang on, double check. Let me just double check a moment. I've got here a rotary 8746G. Does that make any sense? G?
An 8746
G.
G.
Yeah.
Not sure what the G suffix might stand for.
No.
Is there anything sort of unusual about it?
Well, all the little label underneath says Tele 8746G BT QC batch sampled, and the rest is ripped off.
Right. Is that a red label or a yellow label?
It's just a white sticker, but the sticker is actually over a bit of plastic. But I've never peeled that off.
Right. What it is, that 8746s generally are older phones. They started out as 746s that went back to the factory. Normally it's a place called Cumcarn, I think, in Wales. They went back to the factory and got refurbished. So they probably had a different case put on them to the original.
Yeah. It's a red handset, a red bezel, but it's a cream-coloured case. So it's a bit of a whodunit.
Right. What colour's the handset?
The handset is red.
Right. So it's all red except for the case, yeah?
Yeah, which is cream. Yeah.
So logic would say somebody's changed the case.
Yeah.
And put a cream case on a red phone, because it's easier to change one bit, i.e. the case.
Yeah.
If you want to make a two-tone phone, than it would be to take a cream phone and then go, right, we're going to put a red handset on it, a red cord on it, a red bezel on it. Yeah. So it sounds to me like the case has probably been broken, but properly, it's probably a red phone.
Ah, right, yeah.
So if you wanted to restore it to how you think it should be, and it's always a guess because you never know for certain. What I'd be looking for would be a red case.
Okay.
But what's interesting is what's under that sticker.
I know. I've never peeled it off.
what I normally do, is I normally carefully peel them off because they're always covering something up. If I'm thinking right, there's a sticker. They're normally yellow or red, but they're stuck over normally a black sticker, like a piece of black tape.
That's what it is. Yeah, a white label on a square of black tape.
It's a white label, is it? They're not normally white. They're normally yellow or red, but it could be white. Or it could be just faded. But my guess is under that black tape you will find the original printed code that tells you when that phone was made and by who.
Shall I peel it off live on air?
Peel it off. What I normally do is I normally carefully peel them off, and then they're usually sticky enough to stick them back on somewhere else on the back where they're not covering anything up. So you've still got all the history there, but you've kind of unlaid it, sort of thing.
It doesn't appear to be anything underneath. Very strange.
Nothing at all underneath it?
No, it's just the metal. It's the flat metal. Nothing there. No, nothing there.
So there's no markings or anything?
No.
On the bottom of that case?
There's still a little bit of residue that I could peel off, but I really don't think that there's anything on the metal at all. No.
Oh.
Strange. I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it in sometime.
Yeah, take a photo. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Wesley's in the chat, he says, it sounds like a standard late issue 746 with high impedance bell coils. Has it got 2000 ohm bell coils in it?
It's all got, it all seems to be standard inside. Well, it's converted now to create tones, but yeah, it's all standard.
Right. So if it's been changed to an 8746, it should have 2000 ohm bell coils instead of 500 ohm bell coils in it.
Okay.
And it will also have come out from the factory with a modern plug on the end.
Could try. What I'll do is I'll ring off now, I'll open it up and I'll tell you how many ohms the coil has.
Yeah, have a look and let us know. Well,
all right, thanks, Andy.
Nice to talk to you, and thanks for proving this works.
No problem. Cheers,
Michael. Speak to you soon.
Bye.
That's Michael there in Bristol. If anybody else wants to give us a call, there's the number somewhere there. 0246 87201. I tell you, it's getting more like Swap Shop every week. If you look at this number graphic, do you recognise the colours of that number? If you're of a certain age, you will recognise that graphic. We are trying to get the number, but that's a little more involved. But we're working on it. Right. While Michael takes his phone apart in Bristol to sort of see what's inside it, this phone here is actually beginning to shine up reasonably well. I've been buffing away at it while I was speaking to him, and look how good that is. How good is that? Look at that. Now, it's still not going to win any beauty competitions, but it's a lot better than it was. A lot better than it was. So we are getting there. I'm very impressed that phone call actually worked. I'm very, very impressed with that. Can't entirely believe it. Cool. Right, just checking in the chat. I'm sure nobody's said anything else. Everybody's just engrossed now in what's happening. Right, so I think there's going to be a lot of polishing this week. Just got a feeling there's going to be a lot of polishing to do to get this anything like, but at least I've got some of the dirt and gudge off it. But yeah, also interesting about this is on the back there's no markings, and normally you would find something marked. I mean, there is the remnants of a bit of orange paint there. That would have probably been a number with a date on, because they tend to write dates in orange on American phones. But there's just the remnants of it there, but not enough that I can actually read it, unfortunately. It has also still got the original, what they call a mouse hole. It's not been converted for modular, because they make a square cut in the case there if they convert it for modular. This hasn't been converted for modular, which is good. So yeah, I think it'll make a nice phone eventually. It needs a lot of work though. Right, let's carry on and do a bit more while we're here on a Sunday evening. Now, folks, last week, you may remember that last week we were talking about possibly reinstating the late show on I think we said a Tuesday evening. Andy Shed late on a Tuesday evening. What do people think about that as a possibility? Would there be interest in watching a show, sort of a late night version on a Tuesday night? What do the folks think that are here today? Because one or two people said yeah they would actually watch when we mentioned it last week. So I just wondered what everybody thinks at the moment. Wesley says the late show sounds great, and Michael in the chat says it has got 2000 ohm bell coils, so it sounds like it is a standard refurbish into an 8746, Michael. So you're quite lucky there in that you've got the 2000 ohm bell coils in it, because it means you don't have to put a resistor in or anything like that. Yeah, it says why not? Why not? What? Why not? You mean why not do the late show? No reason. I was just asking if people would be interested, because it's no point me sitting there talking to myself. Is it? So the side of this has shined up a lot better than the rest of it did. Can you see that? Yeah, the side of it shined up quite nicely. I'm going to keep going and do a bit more. Penfold says it's worth a try. Me watching depends on my work. Right, we'll see what we can do then, Penfold. Because, well, we never know where you are. You're always on a boat somewhere. What you want to do, Penfold, you want to get a job working for SpaceX towing their rockets in. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? You know, or do they come in automatically? That those boats with a brilliant name, like just read the instructions. You know that the rockets land on. What they call the drone ships. There's obviously nobody on them when the rocket lands on it. But how does it get back to port? Somebody must have to go out and pilot it to port, or do they tow it with a tug or something? I don't know. But that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? I am very much looking forward to YouTube's Everyday Astronaut going up on Starship because he is actually going up on a starship. He's going up as part of the Dear Moon mission. I'm quite looking forward to seeing that, because I think that will make that. It'll be the ultimate YouTube live stream, won't it? That if he manages to do that from space. I'll have to up my ante with the Escape the Sheds. If he's going to do a stream from space, where the hell am I going to do a show from? Yeah, I think he might win. There, can't be having that. We can't have that. No. Right. It's definitely starting to look better. This. Trouble is, it's hard to do it and keep it under the camera. Let's move the camera a bit. That'd be sensible, wouldn't it? How about that? Do-be-do-do. It's definitely starting to look better. I have to do something about that hole though. The question is this ABS? Can we do the ABS trick and fill that hole in? Because I'm pretty sure it should be filled in. I'm pretty sure that is not an original spec hole. There we go, how about that? Oh, it's looking 1,000 times better. It's looking 1,000 times better, that is. We are getting there. We had a bit of a disaster here this week, by the way. No pizza tonight. No pizza, Dominic, tonight. The freezer packed up in the week. There is a new freezer winging its way to us at the moment, but at the moment there's no frozen food. I'm having to eat healthy stuff at the minute because the freezer packed up. So I'm having to eat healthy food. You know, I'm having to eat like fresh stuff, and oh dear, tastes horrible. All that healthy stuff. So I'm missing my Sunday night pizza tonight. I did mean before I came on air tonight. I did actually mean to go to the kebab shop and get a kebab, but that didn't happen. Because I forgot as I was going past it. I'm good at forgetting things. I think it's age. Age catching up with me makes me forget stuff. Well, it's got some scratches and dings, this, but you'd expect that for a phone from the 1950s, wouldn't you? But it's starting to look a bit more presentable, isn't it? The top is very bad. The top is very dirty. Let's see what we can do with the top. Meanwhile, let's just check and see what else is going on. Michael's emailed me a photo of the inside of his phone, he says. Penfold says he thinks that the SpaceX's drone ships are towed in by tugs. Possibly. I don't know. I've never actually seen one coming in. Wesley says, right, Michael. Wesley says, if your phone is marked FWG, he says, I think that will have been a new issue rather than a refurb. I think the old Cumcarn factory became BTCE, then got taken over by Mittel or Mitel or somebody. Gambo says, relating to this this phone that I've got on the desk here, he says maybe the LED was installed as a ringer when somebody messed about with it. It's possible. It's possible, because that kind of goes where the bells would have been, sort of thing. So yeah, but it's all cut off and that anyway. So I mean, if you messed about with it like that, why then cut all the wires again? I just don't get that at all. It all seems a bit strange. I don't fully understand it. But hey ho. Where it says, just looked and it was Nortel, not Mitel, who acquired the factory. Michael says it doesn't say FWG, though label is a little ripped, unfortunately. Sounds interesting. I think you need to be getting a red case for it though, Michael. The question is it an early 746? Because if it's a very early one, if it's like 1967, 68, 69, 70 or maybe even 71, then it could possibly have been a Mark 1 case originally, which would make it an interesting restoration project, and it might even have had the alphanumeric number bezel around it at that stage. So yeah, could be interesting, that one. Right, let's have a go at the top of this. What I've never tried on this, try this teacup stuff, what I've never tried is that sort of car polish that is coloured, that allegedly fills in small scratches. I've never tried that, and I ought to try it, because I've got a feeling it might work. Well, that is certainly looking a lot better. And yes, there is a bit of paint there, and that's the easiest way to get off paint. The old thumbnail. Yeah, it's not too bad, is it? Couple of look like little chunks out of it there. I'm not sure if that is a one that's supposed to be there. That one, that kind of looks like perhaps that's supposed to be there, but I'm sure that's not, 'cause that's sharp, that one. But we could probably do something to fill that in. It's not the end of the world, is it? That. particularly with it being a black phone, you know, not got to worry too much about colour matching. Although actually there are different shades of black, as you find out sometimes when you come to work with it. You find that what you thought was black isn't actually black, it's dark grey. Right, there we go. That is probably more or less as far as we can go with that for today. But yeah, it's a half decent phone, I think. That yeah, well, it will be when we get all the other bits in, and the dial seems to work quite nicely on it. I do like these wall phones. I do like them. They are. I quite like American phones all round. Michael says, "Need your regular email so I can send the pics." Right, Michael, I'll give it to you. It's really simple. It's Andy@colepress.net. Andy@colepress.net. I don't think the spam box will listen to that all the way into this video, so I think I'm safe. Andy@colepress.net. And then you should be able to send pictures to that, hopefully. Right. I think we've more or less got through it all today. Yeah, very all exciting stuff, isn't it? Yeah. But I have had another phone arrive recently as well. Shall I show you the other phone that's arrived? Right, where can I now put this? Right, I'm going to have to take the headset off a minute. Just bear with me a minute, it's going to go rather quiet for a second. Right, can you hear me again? Right, I'll put it back on now. So, yeah, so here's the other phone that's arrived recently. Pidding! Now, nothing particularly special about this. It's basically an 8746, and what we were talking about there, Michael, is this sticker. Now, this is the little red sticker. This is what they put on when they refurbish a phone. And that one is FWR, but shall I 8746? Oh, and that's a G as well. 8746G, BTQC CCF back sampled FWR 83.1. So that's when it came out of Kunkan. 83.1, but originally, you see, there was a sticker over here and it's been peeled off, and it was originally a 746 made by TMA, whoever they are, I can never remember the code. 71, so it was made in 1970 originally. So this probably originally had a Mark 1 case on it originally, but it's been changed at Kunkan. Lots of things have been changed. It's got the pepper pot cap on there as well, rather than the earlier cap that just had a straight up hole in the end of it, like on my black phone here. If I can get them in the thing there. Right, you see that black one's got like a hole in the middle with the transmitter underneath it, and this has just got like a pepper pot arrangement. And it's also got the electronic microphone in it as well, this. So it's in refurbished condition. I'm not going to unrefurbish this because you've got no way of knowing what colour they originally were. So I'm going to leave it in its refurbished guise. But the main reason I'm actually leaving it in its refurbished guise is because of this. Now, I've never seen one of these stickers before, but this is a sticker that you stuck on your phone if you're on Mercury. Now, we talk about Mercury every now and again. Mercury were that alternative operator that is now long gone, but there is a sticker, look, it says dial 132, long distance calls cost less, and a Mercury logo. You see that? Dial 132, long distance calls cost less, Mercury. So it's got a brilliant Mercury sticker on it, which is a rather nice little piece of history to have there. So that's why I bought the phone, because it has got a Mercury sticker on it. I've got no idea if it works, this phone. I've not actually tried it. Shall I plug it in and give it a go? There we go, it's plugged in now. Shall we see what happens? Shall I pick it up? Trouble is, I'm wearing a headset now. Oh yeah, we've got a dial tone on it. So if I dial on a different phone, no, hang on, it's 20, isn't it? So if I hang that one up, right, and I dial on the black phone, there it goes, it rings. There we go. Yeah, it's got sine tone on it. So if you blow into one and listen to the other, yeah, yeah, that's working. So brilliant. It works out of the box then, that one. That's rather good. Rather pleased about that. So we have at least got one phone this week that works. So, yeah, we've got one that's operational. 1 out of 2, so that's not bad. It's 50% in it. Shall we try actually ringing from it? Right, go on now. Oh dear. That's not very good, is it? It's a bit gummed up, the dial, I think. Let's give it a bit of help. Oh yeah, it rings the other phone with a bit of with a bit of help to return the dial back to its normal position. It does work. So we need to have the dial out of this and have a little look at it and get that sorted. But yeah, Mercury. Right, that I think is probably almost it for this week. A big thank you to everybody who has taken part. Michael's pictures haven't quite got here yet, but we'll get them on next week. all being well. And remember, if you want to join up on CNET, you can go to ckts.info to find out more about it. But if you need a number hosting, if you've got an ATA, or even if you're using the Zoiper app and you just want a number hosting on CNET, then get in touch with me. If you've not got the email address, then initially get in touch via the website, which is here. andyshed.corepress.net is the website. It's andyshed.corepress.net. And remember, we have a forum as well where you can talk all things telephones when we're not on air. It's here, gpotelephones.proboards.com. I must go into the forum myself. I've been so busy over the last few weeks that I've kind of left it to its own devices a bit, so I really must visit myself. But yeah, that is it. And we've proved tonight that the live calls work, thanks to Michael. Making the inaugural call on the show live. You remember, you don't have to be a patron to be on CNET. It just happens that Michael is, but you don't have to be. You can be on CNET without being a patron, and you can be a patron without being on CNET. If you fancy becoming a patron, then you can do that as well. You just need to go here, www.patreon.com/AndyShed. It's about £1 a month to be a patron, and you do get little bits of extra content. You get little blog posts every now and again. The patrons have seen a little bit about the radio studio this week and how that is progressing, and it is indeed progressing. Is the radio studio. There will be more about that in the coming weeks, but it is definitely progressing, is the radio studio. But it is almost time for me to say goodbye. I'm just going to unclip this phone that we've got here before I get myself totally tied up in things. And one last thing today before I go. This caused a bit of a stir last week. The Liberator teleport bracelet. Now, I should explain how I got this. This teleport bracelet is a 3D printed one. You can find the 3D printing files online to make this. The original ones, I'm not sure, but I've got a feeling they were made out of a piece of plastic drain pipe. They did famously do a Blue Peter make where Leslie Judd made one out of an old pop bottle. But I think originally the genuine ones were made out of plastic drain pipe, I think, looking at them. This is the 3D printed project. Even the hinge is 3D printed in this. But if you want to liberate a teleport bracelet, and here's the little bits that have got to be painted up and stuck on, because that goes on there and that goes in there. I'm not going to put it in now, because if I put it in, it's hard to get out again. But yeah, there's the bits for that. You can find the files online on the 3D printing sort of websites that you normally go on to find stuff to print. But yeah, it's cool. It's really, really good. And the best thing about it is it actually opens up and you can actually put it on like that. Yeah. And yeah, it is gobsmackingly good, as they say. But yeah, so that is the Liberator teleport bracelet, which we will. Well, I might get it painted this week. We might have it finished for next week. So that'd be good, wouldn't it? Right. That is about it for now. Thanks to everybody for watching again, and also for taking part. The chat has been good and active once again. Shuts with a very resounding click. That is, it's very, very satisfying clunk when you close it. Michael says the base of his phone has nothing on it. He says, but he sent the pics. So when they get here, we'll have a look and we'll get them on the show here next week. We will be here next week. I know I said last week we wouldn't be here next week. We will be here next week. It's probably the week after that we might not be here. So yes, we will be here this time next week, and we'll try and do a late, possibly on Tuesday of this week. So we might try and sneak a late show on this week. We'll do a little test on Tuesday night probably, and see if we can do a late show. See if there's any takers for it. But that is about it. Gambo says, remember to hit the like button, folks. Yeah, you know, I'm terrible at this like and subscribe business, but but yeah, if you could please, it would be a big help. Thanks, Gambo, for reminding me, because basically what it does is it tells YouTube there are people watching the stream. It tells YouTube there are people enjoying the stream, and if YouTube thinks there are people watching it and enjoying it, then it promotes it more, and we get more people watching it and enjoying it, which is a good thing all round in general. So yeah, right, that is about it from me for now. Have a fantastic week ahead, whatever you are doing, and we will see you here again, same time, same place, next Sunday for another Andy Shed Live. And remember, get on CNET, then you too can call in on this number 024687201 when we are on air. It only works when we're on air though, that number. It doesn't work at any other time, so so that particular number only works when we're on air. Right, that is it from me for now. Thanks very much to everybody. We will see you again soon. Bye.